do with it. I'm going to paint it a different color. It's not going to be the blue with sparkles. But I wanted to do a creature that I could put inside of it, or partially inside. And I decided to go with the Cockatrice or the Basilisk. Now, I already rolled out some clay pieces because I know that's not particularly exciting to watch. And I picked out the eyes that I'm going to do for the creature. But everything I've read, it is an interesting mishmash of terms and two different legends that kind of are used synonymously. If you've ever seen portrayals of the basilisk, you were probably thinking more of a snake. If you see a cockatrice, you're thinking more of a chicken-headed like dragon or alligator type thing. But if you look through texts and such, they are often used synonymously as if they're one and the same. And much of the artwork is titled the same as well. The basilisk does seem to come from legends potentially of cobras, although they're not entirely sure, and the cockatrice was originally a slightly messed up version of the word for crocodile. So it's a little uncertain exactly. I think it was a translation thing that made them the same, but the creature has the same attributes, which is the death stare, or in some cases, you know, it petrifies you. The idea that it's just looking at you can somehow kill you, and then it's usually hatched from the egg of a chicken, or a male chicken, oddly enough, and hatched by a snake or a toad, depending on the legend. So as always, we're going to start with our aluminum foil for the base of the shape. Oops. But yeah, when I was reading about it, it was interesting because in heraldry they always use the two-legged, very bird-like, chicken-like appearance with just a dragon tail and some scales. Sometimes wings, usually wings. But a couple of the basilisk type things that I looked up looked very much like a crocodile, which is kind of backwards. But at some point, both terms were used for the same thing, and sometimes they even seem to be used just for generic snakes. For example, there were words that were translated in Hebrew to either cockatrice or basilisk that in later times people were like, yeah, this is probably a cobra or a viper or an adder, a snake of some kind. So lots of translator things seem to come into play with this thing. But they are technically the same creature. Most modern portrayals I've seen has the basilisk as some sort of snake. And I saw one recently that distinguished between the basilisk viper, the snake, the basilisk, which looked like a crocodile, and then the cockatrice, which looked like the dragon chicken. So I don't know that that's technically accurate. They're all kind of can be used for either or any of them. But yeah, so we're gonna go for more of the dragon chicken look, more of the traditional like heraldry, because I figured that would look kind of cool with the egg, and I'm definitely gonna go with a bit of a baby appearance. So I'm gonna pull up some reference photos of like chicks, and maybe I think I'm gonna do like the crocodile feet, just so I can kind of pull that legend in as well, or that reference, I guess. And then I might glance at the patterns on cobras to see if I can do that on the tail when we get to the painting portion. But I'm going to try to combine, as always, all of them and take my own artistic license. I did choose snake eyes for this because I thought that'd be more appropriate. I think the main challenge today is going to be I have to make it fit inside the egg comfortably enough that I can still pull it out of the egg, because I don't know if that egg is going to be oven safe or not. I'm not entirely sure what it's made of. So I have to be able to pull the piece in and out of the egg easily, and also for painting. So I may have to make it a little smaller than I would like. But that's just for the safety of not putting the egg inside the oven when I don't know what it's made of. Which I've done stuff like that before, but I don't advise it. One interesting thing that I did notice when I was reading about it was that the supposed weakness of the basilisk was supposed to be the smell of a weasel, which I was like, what the heck? And I think that came from the legend of cobras, because the cobra's natural predator is apparently the mongoose, which looks very much like a weasel, which is why they kind of fed the basilisk came from the cobra concept. But I had never heard that one before, and I don't know, I can't think of any modern fantasy stories that use that. But yeah, it seems to be a lot like the Legends of Dragons, where they kind of have multiple different terms that all had a slight variation in connotation, but they all kind of got mashed together and mean the same thing. So I wasn't really sure which label to use on this video, so I just went with both. So I think we're gonna have our little guy sitting with his feet up in the air and his tail curled over the edge of the egg. Like, kind of like this. I can make him a little bigger. Gotta give his body a little more weight. It's going to be a little smaller than most of my sculptures, but that's just because I'm being limited by the size of the egg that I found. They might be a little bigger, but we'll see. That's alright. If we want it to look babyish, it's okay if the eyes are kind of big. The easiest way to make things look young is to give them very large eyes. Ironically, it's also the easiest way to make things look creepy, is to give them very large eyes, and also to make them look cute, is to give them very large eyes. It's kind of a context thing. So now we're going to cover our base with clay. And like I said, I did the warming up of all of this ahead of time because I know when I was editing the videos, I got really bored of watching myself do this. So I figured I probably should do this before I even start the video. And I found some new background music that I can use. I will try to change it up occasionally because it's not too difficult to find copyright-free music that you can use. You know, having the same music all the time on every video can be a little tiresome. I'm probably not going to do more than one song in a video just because it makes a lot more difficulty and kind of obscures the credits. And I like to have the credits very clear for the artist who lets people use these. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to have more than one specific BGM song. But that might change in time as I get better at finding stuff and doing this. But for now, I did at least get the new music in the background. I think I may also go for a very alligatorish tail. I think I talked about it before, but I am using Sculpting 3 right now. I've had Primo Sculpting and my favorite clay, which is Humo Soft. Sculpting 3 was the only one that I found for cheap that is still a pretty decent clay, and it's decently soft because I have issues with my hands. I get tired very quickly trying to more, I'm a little clay up and condition it. I can't really work with firmer clays. But they're one of the few that I can order in bulk and not have to pay outrageous shipping. So Vimo I love, but because it's overseas most of the time, the shipping's kind of expensive. I haven't checked back lately though. I know it's just expensive during COVID. Go. Alright. Yeah, and I found, as I've been going through looking for different creatures to put on this list for me to sculpt, that a lot of them do have a lot of the confusion over, like, the terms. I was looking up the words for kobold and elves and gnomes, and there's a lot of overlap. Depending on what country that it comes from, a lot of, like, kobold and stuff came from Germany. But there's a lot of overlap in the terms, and then it's a huge, now we have very distinct categories if you're into, like, D&D or other fantasy. But a lot of the earlier ones, there's a ton of overlap, and they're all variations of, like, fairy folk, or, whatever they wanted to call them, like the She, or whatever they called them in Ireland. There's a lot of overlap in the terms, and it's sometimes difficult to come up with a specific legend. Like, the cryptids tend to have very specific legends associated with them, like the Flatwoods monster that I did from West Virginia, because that was one particular sighting, whereas these tend to come from mistranslations or legends that people have heard from other places, and they're a lot older too, so there's a lot more artistic license and storytelling license that people have done, for hundreds of years. So they begin to get really confused and very different. It's kind of like the different types of dragons around the world, from the Chinese to, like, the drake, the wyvern. All the terms are technically synonymous, and yet the portrayals that we do of them are very different. And I find that's kind of what happened here with the Basilisk and the Cockatrice. Most modern fantasy things will always portray them differently, but let's smooth the tail out a bit more. But they are technically the same, but the legends are different. It's hard to explain. If you look it up and read the stories, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's not actually a ton about the Basilisk or the Cockatrice. It's more of a, I don't know, just a basic creature that they don't really explain terribly well. There is some stuff about, like, having the yolkless egg, and some legends more associated with the Basilisk, that they were afraid that, it would hatch this monster, so they would, like, either do some sort of ritual, like throw it over the house without it hitting the house, or destroy certain bird eggs that they were afraid would become this weird bird reptile monster. So it's definitely like a folk legend in various places, but the exact description varies a little. The only consistent one you'll find is the images in heraldry. Alright, so I think that's pretty good for a basic shape. Let's see. Like that. Yeah, I'm gonna give him big feet. Okay, now we gotta cover the head. May have to make it a little bigger to make those eyes work. We'll see. I noticed most eyes for snakes and crocodiles tend to be yellowish, but I've been doing so many things with yellowish eyes lately that I wanted to make them a little different, and I like the vibrancy since the eyes are so important for the Basilisk. You know, it has the look that can kill you, so I thought having very vibrant blue eyes would be better for that. Okay, smooth out the rough points. We'll be adding a great deal of texture, so I'm not too concerned if there's some rough patches, because it'll get smoothed out as I'm going. And I wasn't intending on making the head lopsided, but I think we'll make it tilted, because that can be kind of cute. That way he looks like he's confused. Make it adorable, I think. Okay, now we have the basic head shape. I'm not sure, I'm debating on the wings, because a lot of them do have wings. Some of the older, more crocodile type pictures did not. I don't know that wings are going to fit too well, so we may go for like super baby chick wings that are tiny. Because I may have some difficulty fitting him in the inside the egg if I do that. Alright, so we have this basic shape now. He looks like a worm right now. That's because he doesn't have his legs. Alright, so we're probably going to do crocodile feet too for the legs. But first I think, let me pull up chick faces. So they're, we have the eyes slightly here and here. Slightly offset. So I think we'll give him his head's tilted, so we're going to do here. That way he looks slightly adorable and confused. I find the eyes are one of the most important things. I wish I had a way to make them myself, because then I could design them exactly the way I want and not spend a long time just going through my collection of eyeballs that I have, trying to find one that I like. It's like, this is decent, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. Now the difficulty is going to be how to do the feathered look on with the baby chick look, because that's His face is a bit lopsided. Oh, we can fix that. Because baby chick feathers are almost just like fuzz. They're like peach fuzz. So I might have to use the brush to do like mild texture. But I don't want it to look like fur exactly. So I might be a little limited regarding like the medium with clay. It's a little hard to get that kind of look. But we'll see. We'll see what I come up with. I may add feathers just to make it clear. But we'll see. We have inside of his face there's a little better. I think I'm gonna add a little one on this side. Even though this was already built out more, just like yes, the cheeks being kind of chubby. There we go. He's looking very snake-like, and that's fine. Okay. I think we should do eyelids. So the easiest way to do eyelids is like this. Do a little string like that. Another little string like that. And then flatten them. Like that. Just curl them around. I don't actually know if I want. Yeah, we'll do it. Things do have eyelids. It's just kind of sometimes if you do the eyelid too thick, it loses the cute look of the eyeballs by making them look more shady or more slanted. Makes them look more realistic, but I want to keep it pretty open. So we got our basic face going on here. Let me look at the chick beak. Ah. Okay. Okay, we're going to do the beak now. to be wider and flatter. Okay. I may have made it a little too long. I might need to fix that. Alright, let me grab some of my tools here. Okay, where's the nose on the beak? It's kind of up here. Should make it a little bit bigger and bring that way. One moment. Let's try this. And we got the basics of the head. And let me see if we can still fit this useful here. Yep, we can still fit. Okay, let's think. Yeah, alright. Let me see. I think I should probably do the feet first, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll do the feet first and we'll see how it's fitting into the... how it's gonna fit into the egg with the feet. Cut this in the middle for each of the legs. And I think that'll work. Alright, let me do the other one now. Basically, yeah, you're just making a slightly drumstick shape, which makes sense since drumsticks are chicken legs, but biggest thing is making the edges flat so that they blend into the clay easy and you attach it. So we'll do this one here. always like the best blending tool. Unfortunately, you can't always fit in like the tiny spaces, and if you have larger hands than I do, that may not work too well. Alright. Other one. Blend this more in. Give him his other leg, and we're gonna go with let's see if I can mimic like crocodile looking feet. Just because the word cockatrice does come from crocodile, they believe. Pinch out the edges so that they're very thin and easy to blend. Okay. Grab another piece of clay here. See where we're getting with this. Yeah, I'm gonna be careful, but it's starting to get a little snug. Usually when I make feet of some kind, if they're going to be talon-like, I do like the triangle, like that. Okay, cut it in half. I can start rubbing toes. Alright, let me pull up a reference here. Okay, so they have... They have a lot of talents, but I'm probably not going to give them as many as they actually have. Let's just see how many I can comfortably do with this. Let's do 4, that's fine. And they're slightly webbed sometimes, they're usually pointed. Unfortunately, I don't really have much to say in this video because there weren't as many legends or stories that I could find. Most of it was just confusing things about where the words came from. Alright. So that's the start of our crocodile feet. Okay. Don't want to completely get rid of the webbing, but... look similar. And let me look at the scaling. I wonder, do they have the underside? Underside of the... I can imagine what it looks like, because it does actually remind me of chicken feet just a little bit. So we always had chickens when I was a kid. Okay, I'm just gonna go with what I think it should look like. Oh, no, I'm getting sleepy already. I was just sleeping. Okay. I might try this instead, just doing flat pieces across. To get that scaly appearance. But I might not want to do, I'll do the underside first. I don't think I'm going to do the top until I get the feet attached, because this is very mild detail, and with the soft clay it will smash if you're not careful. And then I'll ruin all the detail that I did, which I've done several times on other sculptures. Alright, so that's a bit of a scaly pattern for the underside, and then I think I'll do like the joint notches here. Make sure we have this really smoothed out here so they don't smash. Get this when I attach it. Okay. There's one foot. This one toe's a little too long. Let's make it a little shorter. I've learned to always try to do hands, feet, and other appendages at the same time. That way I can match them more easily. You can kind of see where you've gone wrong. Kind of like when you're drawing, I always do eyes and either side of the face simultaneously. So if I don't, they always end up super lopsided. To do the joints on the toes. I'm gonna move him here so you can see what I'm doing. I think that'll be a cute pose for him inside the egg. But yeah, we're definitely going to add some wings. He's got to have wings of some kind. I think they'll be tiny little floppy ones, but he needs wings. Of some sort. Because he currently looks a little unbalanced. And they do typically have wings. I just wasn't sure. Not always, and I wasn't sure how well it's going to fit in the egg. So I have to do very small wings folded against his body, but I think I can do it. So here comes the difficulty. Do I start the scales on the body, and the legs, or do... I think I should do the wings first. Yeah, let's do the folded up wings, and then let's perch him against the egg here. And then I'll do the rough scaling all the way down. Alright. We're gonna do very gently curled wings. Some of them had lizard wings, some of them had feathered wings. Can't pull the wings too big away from the body because then I won't be able to... We need to do the scaling first. Okay, that answered my question. We need to do the patterns on the body first, stomach, and then I will attach the wings because it's going to be a pain to try to do that after the fact. scale pattern like of a dragon's stomach or something, do thin strips like this, and then you just roll them out flatter. And then you layer them, you start at the bottom and you layer them over top of each other. It's pretty simple, but it creates a nice effect. And that's it. It's a bit too long, so I think I'll split it in half and use this for the tape. But yeah, you just layer them like this. It's gonna take a little bit. Most detail it does. It does help if you flatten them out quite a bit. Some of these I did a little too thick, so I'm gonna flatten them even more. Oh. Let's start right about here, I think. Now all I'm doing is overlapping, smoothing the edges out a tad and overlapping the front piece like this, like that, on each of these. I'm probably gonna have to cut some of them short, and that's fine. So a tad long. You can see we're getting the pattern there. Alright, let's take this one here. There, as you can see, I probably should have done this first before I did the feet, but I didn't think about it. If I had been smart, I would have done it first, but I did not. So now I have to deal with the slight awkwardness of trying to work around what I have already sculpted. There we go, we got the snake belly pattern now. And I think for the tail we'll do like little dots here. So we won't have them overlapping like we did with the rest of it. But just little dots up the tail. Like this. Difficulty is going to be like exactly where we need the fluffy part, the feathery part to come in. Alright, so we have that kind of going on. I think we're going to have to do the body pattern before we put the wings on. Yeah, I think we might do like a collar, maybe a fluffy type collar look. Maybe that would be good. Let me see if I'm gonna try it and see if I like it. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just gonna feather it out with a brush that I have to create a bit of a feathery look and do it like around the side and around the collar of his neck. That way I can have a transition into the more scaly looking parts of it. Sit up there. Well, let me put him here so you can see him. Yeah. There. But he sounded pretty good. I'm pretty happy with him so far. Every time I put him down, I keep seeing a mistake that I need to fix. All the way around. Get a little thinner. I'll do that. I don't know if you can really visualize or see that texture. I don't think the camera will pick up on it. But it's a very fine, feathery kind of texture, furry texture. I may make it a little deeper. May also need to cut it because it's not quite what I want. I'm gonna go over it again with this so I have some more deep patterns. I think that'll look good. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't like that. I might just do it in the back and not on the front, and just have the direct to scale to feather transition in the front, because I don't think that's gonna look great. So I think I'm just gonna cut it off roughly about here. Sorry about that. I dropped my aluminum foil on the ground. I think we'll just put some spots here that I can feather out a bit. It'll be easier once we have the wings. And I'm still debating, like, I don't know if I should do dragon type wings or if I should do feathery wings. I think feathery would be better because then I can make them tiny and babyish. But we'll see. Tiny feathery wings like this size. That way I can just fold them over the body. And the difficulty is just doing the feather pattern. is good for getting a very faint texture. I'm trying to see if I can get the camera to focus on it. But it's not as noticeable. I'm scared it won't be very visible when I paint it. I think I'll just do the darker patterns and what would be the edge of the wings, like here. So the deeper patterns here, and then we'll kind of fade it back into... Because, like, baby chick wings just look fuzzy. They don't really have a whole lot of texture. Oh, I dropped my brush. Looks more like baby wings. Okay, so now we got the little baby wings on him. So that's the main attributes that we need. So I think now, still fits pretty well. Let's see. I want to give him some kind of headpiece thing. Distinct head markings, probably like maybe, I could do a bit of a spine. I think I will do a bit of a spine and then feather out the head a bit. Or like little... Yeah, I think I'll do little horns, I don't know what to call these. Yeah, they're just tiny little horns on his head. And then we'll do the feather pattern all the way across his head. And then we'll add the scales to the body. And I think that'll be good, really. For what we're going for. The scale pattern's probably what's going to really bring it all together. see, it's a little lopsided. I think that's good. So now he's got little mohawk spikes on his head. And I think we'll start doing the scaling pattern, which is pretty simple. I'm just going to do dots. I think I'll do those around the eyes here, just on the top. And this will take a minute. It's scale patterns like this are very time consuming. Like, they're not difficult to achieve, they're just very time consuming. I'm sure there is a better way to do this. I have yet to discover something that really looks the same. I think for this I'll do like a fluffy piece here. On this side, see if you can see it real well. The hardest thing on this is not destroying the patterns that you have already done. It is very easy to smash and bend clay while it's still wet. this out a little. Put it here. We can do the tufts of feathers around the scaly parts so that we have a nice transition. Alright, so we're getting some of the face there. You can kind of see pattern. Now I'm just going to very slowly fill it in. I'll try to keep this in the camera so you can see what I'm doing. I have a bad habit of pulling it close to me and out of view of the camera. Because it's a little easier for me to work on it that way. And the more patterns we do, the harder it is for me to find a spot to hold it safely without destroying it. I think I'm gonna repeat that pattern down here with the, so I think that'll look good if I do it on the underside here where I do the scale pattern. Just a little bit. And then I can repeat it by having the tuft that I feather out over top of it to create a nice transition. Because I wasn't sure how to transition from the neck here to the feathery part, so I think I'll just do this where I'm just going to add scale pieces and parts. Let's see. I'm not even sure how long I've been recording. An hour and 17 minutes. That's not bad. Not bad. I think I'm definitely going to finish this like an hour and 30 to 40 maybe. So I've gotten a lot faster at this. Granted, I did spend 15 minutes smoothing out pieces But aside from that, most everything else has been on film, so I think I've gotten much faster at these sculptures. I used to take roughly 4 hours a piece just for the sculpting. It does depend a little on what I'm doing, but I like seeing how long it realistically takes me to make something like this. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Bring this up here a little bit more, so that we have that scaly pattern under the chin. Then we're going to do the same thing we did up top, and we're going to make a nice long flat piece to do this with. Feather it outwards. down. He almost looks like he has a little beard now. But that's fine. Some chickens actually do have a little bit of a tuft on their face. So you can kind of see his face there. Keep doing this. Alright, so we have the fluffy part of his head done. Now we have to do the rest of him. So I think I may cheat a little and do a pattern like this where you just poke him and then do some selective scaling patches. Because I've done this with dragon type things before, where you just make it super lumpy and then do patches of scales. It would definitely look cooler if I don't do that, so we'll see. But I'm not sure that I really want to sit here and do all of the scales. Okay. Here so it doesn't fall. Do like a scale there. And we'll do much larger scales as well, so that it'll be a little simpler, a little less time consuming. Alright. Usually do something like this. Give it a little more texture so that I can get away with like blending it in and not doing full scaling. Because it takes a long time to do that. I've done it sometimes on stuff. I don't think it's really necessary here. And I also don't really feel like doing a million scales. So I'm going to do quite a few on the legs. At least on the knees, because a lot of times you'll notice it almost is like a lot of the cartoons I've noticed they always draw alligator and reptilian characters with really thick scaling on the knees and then around the toes. So I'll probably do really thick scaling on that and then some patches down the tail. But for the back, I think this will suffice. Just to make a slightly rougher, I guess, pattern. But yeah, there we have some scaling. Alright, now let's do, I think we'll do the toes next. Have to be very careful not to smash the head, because we don't want to lose our progress on that. Slightly slanted. It's more like my bedroom is slightly slanted. this probably would have been a little, I don't know, it's always a trade-off. Like, do I do it before I put the feet on or after? If you do it before, you usually you can work with it easier, but then you have the risk of, as you're putting the feet on, you can smash all of your designs after you do them. If you put it after, like I'm doing now, you have the awkwardness of working around the rest of the sculpture, which is sometimes difficult. And you can't see things quite as well. Down a little. So that's the back of the foot now. That's the front, still looks pretty good. So I think we'll do this. We'll do some patches on the knees right here. To go over the wings again because I've been smashing those bends holding this, and I think I'm smashing the other wing right now because of the way this is positioned. That pattern's easier to create than these, so I'll just stick with it for now. I could do some feathering at the knees, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. Actually, I kind of like that idea. I think I will. The side of the foot I'm walking on. might do a bunch of pieces like this first just to save myself the time. Then we do a little scaling here and here and here. There. We gotta lay this down a little bit because we're gonna do the tufted fur. Then I have to figure out exactly how I'm doing the tail. If we're doing it the daisy way or the extremely detailed way. I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I'm about an hour and 40. Might be closer to 2 hours, which makes sense. That's a decent time expectation for me. Okay, so we've got most of this pretty well done. We just gotta figure out what we're doing with the tail. So I think I might just do some scales down the tail and then like we did the back. So just some haphazard scaling. And then we'll repattern the feathers real quick on the wings because they've gotten smushed beyond recognition. Like this part of the tail's kind of going to get smashed because it's sitting. I also have to figure out how I'm going to bake this because the clay gets a little soft before it hardens. So it is somewhat difficult to bake awkwardly shaped sculptures without part of them flattening or losing their definition and their detail. I've had it happen to me a couple times where I didn't plan out appropriately. But I think this one I might be able to hang on the edge just a tad or balance it in a corner so it shouldn't lose too much. I think I used roughly not even quite a full pound of clay for this. I think the last one I used like a pound and a half, but it's a lot bigger. But this is right under a pound, which is good because I need to kind of conserve the clay. I use a little too much sometimes. Alright. Now we do the dots. Sorry, I was probably holding that a little too close to the camera. Let's fix his wings and then we are finished. Basically, I'm just going down its size slightly so that it's really thick on the edges and very light up further. Okay. And I think we're pretty much good. Let's see if I can turn him this way toward the camera so you can see. He's got a nice little head. You can see his feet, his head, his face. That is our little baby cockatrice or baby basilisk. And then let's see, we can still get him. We can still get him inside the egg, so we're good. You guys can see he sits in his egg. So I think we're finished here. I'll leave him in there for now, but I just gotta bake him and I will do the painting video soon, probably next week. I was a little late on this week's or this month's videos, but if you did watch this, thank you so much. Just comment or like it or just do something with it. So I'm still starting out. I haven't really done much with this channel. I've had it for a while, but hopefully I can get somewhere with these. If you like seeing them, please do, interact with the video. I will be doing the 1 minute edits once I'm finished as well, so that will be coming up as well. But thank you so much if you did watch through to this point. I really appreciate it.